Yes, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel where we are in for a day in the life on a rest day. So I'm not training today. This video will be a little bit different. Clocking the morning off with some steps. Routine remains the same, the exact same. Wake up, hydrate, steps. I've actually done my check-in this morning with coach because it's a Thursday. I do my check-in every Thursday, so I should be going through that later on. I am expecting some changes to be made to get things kicking on. Although over the past week, weight has dropped very nicely. Had a new low this morning of 92.9. So I'm well into the victim weight now. Victim weight is under 100 kilos for those of you that don't know. So I'm balls deep in the victim weight, which is sad, but again, it's what's necessary to prep me for stage. These steps, again, routine is the same every day. So I've got 11, 12K that I'm going to box off this morning, and then I'll literally just fill in the extra few K just by being out and about and just walking around. I've actually got a backpack on today because I'm filming some content. On a rest day, I'll typically film content. Just gonna film a few reels while I'm walking. I've just done one. I need to do another one for an ad that I'm gonna run on my Instagram page that I'm gonna test out. I'm gonna set the tripod up on you, so I won't be able to record myself doing that. Not that you would want to see that anyway, but I'm gonna just perch up a spot and film an ad. So yeah, this is the life of an online coach. Content editing, messaging, coaching. I've got check-ins to do as well today with the team. So I'll give you a little bit of an insight as to what that looks like. Obviously resting, again, calories are low, 2.6K. So I need to use them sparingly. I'm gonna push my first meal back as far as possible, which I've done. So I'm gonna do this walk, which should take me probably maybe 2 hours with filming because I'm not having any one take wonders this morning, tell you that for free. This is something that a lot of people don't realize when making content. Like, you're seeing the polished version, but there's planning that's gone into that. There's potentially a little bit of scripting depending on the reel. Loads of editing. Editing can take a while. Finding the right clips, chopping them over, finding the right music. There's a lot that goes into it. So I'm going to wrap these steps up and I'll catch you back for meal number one. We're back then, peeps, for meal number one. That was a very productive walk. I don't usually do that, to be honest, get reels dusted on my walk. I usually just like to get my steps nailed and then I can get back and focus on content later. But I've just killed two birds with one stone. Got 3 reels done. One of them was an ad, so that's a massive win. Starting off the day with a win. So steps boxed off, reels done. Got this meal now, which is a nice meal, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, it's not very filling. Definitely is one that's quite tasty, although to be fair, I'm at the point now in my diet where everything tastes nice. So we've got 5 eggs, 200 mils of egg whites, 20 grams of ketchup, and then we've got a coffee, an iced coffee, with some sugar-free sweetener. And I've got some electrolytes. So I'm gonna get this nailed and then it's on to check-ins. It's check-in time then, peeps. Before I show you what the crack is with check-ins, the World Cup, Messi already bagged a hat-trick. It's gotta be the GOAT, man. I don't watch loads of football, but I used to when I was little. And don't get me wrong, I genuinely do love Ronaldo, but Messi is better. Messi is better than Ronaldo, hands down. He's just a natural talent. Ronaldo is trained. He's a trained product, which, yeah, he's still like, I would say Ronaldo is the second best. But Messi is a top dog. Right, anyway, enough waffling. Check-ins. So this is a coaching log for one of the boys, Matt. Now on here, we've got body weight, steps, calories and macros. That's all the data that I need to assess if you've had any problems with regards to food, prep, consistency, binging. And with this data, I know exactly what changes I need to make in order to allow you to get the most amount of progress, to make the most amount of progress. Next up is on the app that I use called Kahuna. So we've got Matt's training log here, so I can review his training to make sure that lifts are heading up as they are, to make sure that he's progressively overloading as he should do. There's also a check-in form which just runs through his week, what's gone well, what's not gone so well, and then with this information partnered with the data, I know exactly what's going on. I know where the issues are, I know exactly where we are, I know if we're on track, I know if we need to make up a little bit of ground, and then there are some physique pictures as well, which are incredibly important to review your progress week to week. So There's a lot that goes into it, like these check-ins. It's not just a few questions and, oh yeah, you're good. These are the changes that you need to make. Like, I delve into detail, I have a look at the data, and I explain why I'm making the changes that I do. Not so that you only get results, but so that you're learning as well. Like, that's the whole point of coaching. You're supposed to educate and get results. That's the whole point, in my eyes anyway. So I'm going to box off half of these check-ins, and then I'll be having meal number 2. Just going through one of the boys' check-ins now, and I just want to show you what's possible when you've got the right help. So this is Tay. He started with me a fair few months ago. Obviously, he'd been training for a couple of years, tried to lose weight, never got anywhere. And we put some structure in place, diet plan that he actually liked with foods that he enjoyed, so he could actually stick to it and it didn't feel like a chore. Gave him some structure with his training, and all I've done every single week is held him to a higher standard. So held him accountable for what he's doing, made sure that he's on track, and just pushed him to be better and improve every single week. And Tay's been firing over form clips, so he's been getting form reviews every single week to improve his training. He asks questions, and whenever he's got any issues, he comes to me straight away. He's pretty much an ideal client in terms of how he handles the process. He fully applies himself. He always fills in a detailed check-in form. He's doing as much as he can on his end, and I'm doing as much as I can on my end. And this is the result. Bearing in mind, we've got another 3.5 weeks until he's actually doing his photo shoot. He's prepping for a photo shoot. So that was his starting point, and that's where he's at now. Gone from fluffy, looking like he doesn't really hit the weights at all, to, I mean, he's peeled. He's getting peeled. He looks like an absolute machine. This lighting isn't great, could be a little bit better, but you can see the difference in his midsection. Like, he's gone from having a little bit of a belly, stubborn belly fat, and now he's shredded. That's what's possible, people. That's what's possible when you get a good coach. Check-ins are 50% done. So I'm going to have meal number 2, which for today is 200 grams of raw 5% minced beef. We've got 250 grams of basmati rice, and then we've got 100 grams of broccoli, 20 grams of Tommy K, a little bit of ketchup. This is what we're cooking with. Lovely stuff. Quite a filling meal, to be honest. I've also got myself cheeky little money. This is another meal that I genuinely thoroughly enjoy eating. It tastes nice and it leaves me full. I'm going to eat this, finish my check-ins, and then it's time to head to the gym for cardio, abs, and a little bit of posing. We are in for abs. So what I do in my ab training is I will alternate days, and then I will do an exercise for my upper abs, which will be a machine crunch or a cable crunch. I will do an exercise for my lower abs, which typically will always be some sort of knee raise or some sort of leg raise, and I'll just alternate. If I wake up on a day and my abs are still feeling a little bit sore, I will just take a rest. But I'm hitting my abs 3, 4, 5 times a week. So I do 2 sets a session, and that's enough for me to recover from pretty much daily. So I'm not training a specific group in my abs 2 days on the bounce. I'm at least having 1 day rest in between, and it just works for me. It's been working. I'm making sure that with every single rep, I'm fully feeling my abs stretch and contract. And then with this exercise, we are looking for full spinal flexion and full spinal extension. So flexion, when you're crunching down, you're breathing all of the air out of your lungs to squeeze your abs as tight as you possibly can. And then you're arching and bending your spine as much as possible to elongate and lengthen your ab muscles, which is how we cause them to grow, lengthen and contract. Then onto a little bit of cardio. I'm not going to show you that because cardio is boring. And then it's onto some posing. I'm not going to lie, looking back at this video, posing is coming on a lot and I'm here for it. Like, I've been putting in the hours with posing. I'm doing some form of posing every single day, whether it's a few rounds going through all the mandatories or it's me just practicing a few poses in the mirror. Whenever I get the chance, I'm doing some posing and I'm practicing. I've got just over 12 weeks until I compete. I still need to sort out my individual routine, which I'm shitting my pants for, I'm not gonna lie. But the poses have come on a massive amount, and I'm confident by the time that I actually come to compete, your boy will be pretty solid with the posing, which is nice to say. But I'm confident, I really am. Cardio, abs, a little bit of posing, and now meal number 3, which is 60 grams of oats, 40 grams of whey protein, 10 grams of peanut butter. That's going to wrap it up. I'm actually running a little bit behind schedule. My check-ins took longer than expected, so I need to get a little bit of a move on. I'm going to eat this, and then your boys head into Starbs, because I'm a little basic white girl. and I like drinking coffee. Starbucks coffee is unmatched. A little bit spenny, cost me $5.40 for a large Americano, which is expensive. Definitely won't be doing that every day. But it is nice to treat myself every now and again, especially when I'm on prep, because I don't get access to many treats. So I think treat myself from time to time, go get a Starbucks. So I'll catch you in there. Just got to Starbucks. Say just got to Starbucks. I've actually dusted this off. Been in here for about 90 minutes and been very productive. I'm not going to lie, I'm at the age now, I'm 25, still living with my parents. I need to move out, man. I really need to move out. I'm very comfortable at home, and I don't like that. I think growth happens outside the comfort zone, and I feel like that's applicable in every realm of life. So I think for me to sort of be more productive and for me to move my business forward, I need my own space. I know that I'd be 10 times more productive if I had my own space, but I've got my parents in, they make noise. I mean, I don't expect them not to make any noise, but it's a little bit distracting. Like, they're making noise, they have mates that come round, as you would do, but it's just distracting for me. And I know that if I had my own place where it was just me in there and I was locked in, I was working, I could be productive with making content. Sometimes the kitchen's busy and I would like to make content in there. Just the little things that I know if I were to make these changes, I'd be much, much more productive. So there's my 10 cents. I'm going to crack on for probably another half an hour, and then I need to head home for meal number 4. It's been very productive. I love working in here. I don't know what it is, because I mentioned at home about the noise. To be fair, I work in my bedroom. My desk is right next to my bed. I think that's just so unproductive. It's not the right environment to be productive in. I'm coming out of the house and I'm in Starbucks. I've got a coffee, a little bit of caffeine, and I can just lock in with my work. So much done. So I'm going to wrap up this work. See you at home for meal number 4. So I've actually got the same meal for my last 2 meals. So this is going to be the last clip of the video. I'm going to pop up the calories and macros on the screen for each meal individually. It's literally the exact same meal. And then I'll bang the calories on the screen for the full day. This is what we're cooking with. We have got 140 grams of cooked chicken, 200 grams of raw potato, 20 grams of ketchup, and then we've got 50 grams of broccoli. That's going to wrap things up for a rest day. I'm not going to lie, food is pretty low on a rest day for me, like it's around 2,650 calories. I am hungry, but you need to get hungry to lose weight and get lean. People don't understand this. They get hungry and they start to fight it and they think, oh, I shouldn't be hungry. Yes, you should. That's the whole point. You're in essence starving your body of the food that it needs to maintain its weight. So you're going to be a little bit hungry. You're not going to starve. You're not going to perish and crumble into a pile of dust. It's just a little bit of hunger. Have a little bit of mental resilience, mental fortitude, fight through it, and you'll get lean. That's the whole game. I had a client message me, actually. I'll pop up the message on the screen. Since we started working together, which has been closing in on 4 or 5 months now, his mindset has transformed an insane amount from the coaching. And he's now at a point where he's a few weeks out from his photo shoot. Food is quite low, expenditure is quite high, but he's ready for it. And he looks forward to it, and he's enjoying the process because he's grinding and grafting day in and day out, and he's working towards his goal, and he's seeing results that he's not seen before, and he's getting into the sort of shape that he's not seen before. This is Tay that I posted earlier in the video. His mindset is bulletproof, and that's going to guarantee that with whatever he does moving forward, even if it's not fitness related, if he can tap into that mindset, he's going to be golden. And I can guarantee that with whatever he does, he'll do really well, and he'll be a machine, because that level of discipline and that level of mental resilience is applicable in all realms of life, literally all of them. There is more to getting lean and getting shredded than just looking good. It develops you mentally as a person. It's true with me, it's rung true with all of the people that I've worked with who have gotten lean. It's invaluable, genuinely. This is why I say that people who are trying to lose weight and it's not working, get some help. You won't regret it. It will genuinely change your life, and it has done for loads of people that I've worked with, and it did for me too. Yeah, it's sad to see when people are struggling and they're just sort of resistant against the idea of getting some help because their ego gets in the way. And I get it, men are proud, you don't want to admit that you need some help, it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks, but you need to take that kick for you to actually progress and get the results that you want. Again, this is what happened with me. For the first few years of my training, saw some okay results, didn't really know what I was doing, was going through trial and error, learning, and I got to a point where I was coaching, I wanted to take things seriously, I wanted to prep for my bodybuilding show, which is what I'm doing now, and I hired a coach because he's 20 steps ahead of me, Reese. He knows what he's doing, he knows how to prep for shows, he knows how to get in condition for shows. So rather than spend years extra figuring it out on my own, I will get some help from someone who knows what they're doing, which is ultimately going to allow me to save years of time and progress at a much faster rate. So if you've got the funds available, fellas, it's a win-win. It's a no-brainer. Get yourself a coach that has got good results. Get yourself a coach that you like. I can guarantee you won't regret the decision. So that's going to wrap up the video. A little yap to end the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to drop me a like. Drop me a comment with any questions you've got. Don't forget to drop me a sub. And I will catch you in the next one.